Janvi Mandi, can I audible and screen is visible? Can you text me? Whether I'm audible and screen is visible? Janvi Mansa, welcome. Fine. Let us start the class. One minute. Okay. So see here, whenever we are talking about the life cycle of the Plasmodium vivax, so it is a digenetic. Why we are calling as a digenetic? So it is having the two hosts. Okay. One we all know that one is a mosquito, right? One is the mosquito, and another one is the human, right? So that's why it is called as a digenetic. Some pathogens having the monogenetic. Monogenetic means single host. Okay, in the single host, the whole life cycle is going to be completed. That we call as a digenetic. Okay, fine. So let us talk about the how the life cycle of the Plasmodium vivax is. Okay, so think that. So now the Plasmodium, now the mosquito. So that is a female Anopheles mosquito. So which is that mosquito? Female. Why, student? Only female mosquito is going to affect, not the male. Female Anopheles mosquito. Can anyone tell me why only the female mosquito? For the female mosquito reproduction, it requires albumin protein. Okay, so it is present in the blood. So that's why the female mosquito will suck the blood. Okay, for the feeding. Okay, fine. So let us talk about the how the life cycle is. Okay, for example, you think that so now the person is having the malaria. Okay, now the mosquito, that is a female Anopheles mosquito, was bitten him. Okay, so bitten him along with the blood, it will suck the sporozoa. Yeah, along with the blood, it will suck the parasites. Okay, which is that parasite I have told you, Plasmodium vivax, right? So it is suck the blood. So now what will happen? This mosquito, we will call it as the infected mosquito. Infected mosquito. So there also the life cycle is going to be continue. I will tell you what happened in the when the zygote it was taken. Sorry, when the this gametes was taken by the mosquito. Okay, I will tell you later. So now you think that now the mosquito, the infected mosquito was bitten to the normal person. Okay, not simply we can think that any female Anopheles mosquito, if it is bite mean, will not get the malaria. Okay, the only infected mosquito bite means then only you are going to get the malaria. Okay, see here now. So the infected mosquito was bitten. Okay, so what will happen now? Along with its saliva, it was released as the sporozoid. What do you mean by sporozoid? It is the infective stage of the malaria. Okay, see here. Along with the saliva, it is going to introduce or it is going to inject sporozoid. Okay, students, sporozoid. Sporozoid, we also call it as infective stage of the malaria. Infective stage, listen carefully, okay? Infective state of malaria. Okay, so now what will happen? The sporozoite was enter into the blood. So you know how in the how in the water the unwanted things will float, no? So like that, so this sporozoids will float into the blood to the liver. Okay, it will float into the blood to the liver. So now what will happen? They reached into the liver. Okay, can anyone tell me what is the name of the liver cell, student? Liver cell. We'll call it as hepatocytes, right? So what will happen now? So this will enter into the liver. Okay, see here in the this is a liver cell. Okay, this is a one liver cell. It is entered into the liver. Okay, so now what will happen? Through the asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is very fast, right? Through the asexual reproduction, it is goes on reproducing. Okay, due to based on the asexual reproduction. This asexual reproduction has the name. Okay, that is we call it as schizogamy. Schizogamy. Okay, through the asexual reproduction, it is goes on increasing in the number. Okay, so now see here what will happen. It enters into the blood as a single sporozoid. Now it was multiplied into the so many number. Okay, see here, it was multiplied into the so many number. What will happen now? So many progenies has been developed, right, in the liver cell. So now what will happen? This liver cell is going to be burst. Okay, so this liver cell is going to be burst. So now what will happen? This liver cell is burst, right? not liver, student, liver cell. Okay, so liver cell, the sporozoids is burst, right? So now it is not called as a sporozoid. Okay, so now it is called as a merozoids. Okay, now we will call it as the merozoids. And which is the asexual reproduction they are utilized in the liver, student? Schizogamy. Okay, schizogamy. So then that is the asexual reproduction in the liver cell. Okay, so now what will happen? See here. So these will enter into the blood. Okay, see here. Now this will enter into the blood. Okay, in the blood, what are the things you can see, students? We can see the red blood cell and the white blood cell. These all the things, right? But they will affect on the RBC. Okay, they require a proper RBC. Okay, so you know, student, one thing. So whenever the person is affected with the sickle cell anemia, this malaria parasite is not at all going to affect them. Okay, because the red blood cell is in the sickle shape. Okay, so it will be not favorable for this parasite to feed. Okay, so that is the reason the person who is having the sickle cell anemia, the malaria is not going to be affected. Okay, so see here now, it was enter into the blood. Okay, so now what will happen? In the blood, there is a RBC cell, right? See here, RBC, I will write here. Okay, in the RBC, what will happen? This will enter into the blood. So in the RBC, there is a hemoglobin is there, right? Hemoglobin, right, student? They will break this hemoglobin into the heme and globin separate. Okay, they will break this hemoglobin into the heme and globin separate. See here, this heme was converted into the hemozoin. Okay, this globin, they goes on feeding. Okay, on the globin part, they will feed, students. See here, hemoglobin completely. They will break heme and globin separately. The globin part they will feed on, and heme is the waste part. No, they will remove that. Okay, so what will happen? This heme is going to be converted into the hemozoin. Okay, this heme is going to be converted into the hemozoin. Then whenever this red blood cell is ruptured, okay, whenever this red blood cell is ruptured, see here also in the red blood cell is also it is going to be multiply, right? Merozoids. It is going to be multiply in the red blood cells, right? So whenever the red blood cell is ruptured, so the hemozoin along with this merozoid, it is going to be released again. Okay, then again this merozoid is going to be affected another RBC. Okay, so see here. So now this RBC, sorry, merozoid and the hemozoin is going to be released into the blood, right? So this is the hemozoin which will cause the fever in the malaria person. Okay, the malarial symptom is the fever, right? So how the fever is going to be get means whenever this red blood cell is ruptured, it is going to release the hemozoin, right? Through the hemozoin, it is going to increase the body temperature. Okay, it is going to send a message to the hypothalamus. Thereby, the body temperature is going to be increases. Okay, student, fine. See here now, this merozoid, some of the merozoids in the red blood cell is going to be converted into the gametes. Okay, some of the merozoids in the are in the blood only. Okay, in the blood only, some of them merozoid only. Okay, some of the merozoid is converted into the gametes. Okay, gametes. How many types of the gametes are there? Male and female gametes, right? So one is a male gamete. I will write it in the small. I will write it in the bigger. Okay, female gamete and smaller male gamete. Okay, see here, male and female gamete is going to be converted. Okay, so how from the merozoids? Okay, so now what will happen? I will tell you what will happen now. So before I have forgotten to tell you here. Okay, so that is the merozoids which feeds on the hemoglobin. Okay, the merozoids which feeds on the hemoglobin, we will call it as the trophozoids. Okay, I will write it here. Okay, trophozoids. Okay, students, trophozoid. Okay, the merozoid which feeds on the red blood cell or the hemoglobin, we will call it as the trophozoid. Okay, so now it was ruptured red blood cell, the hemozoin and this thing was entered into the RBC. Some of them merozoids is converted into the gametes, male gamete and the female gamete, right? So now what will happen? These gametes will move into the superficial blood vessel into the skin. Okay, through the superficial blood vessel, it will move to the skin. Okay, so now what will happen? See here, it was moved into the skin, right? Now here it is. So on the here the skin, so there is a gametes are present. Okay, so now what will happen? The another mosquito which is not affected. Okay, the mosquito which is not affected will come and which will suck the blood here. Okay, which will suck the blood here means what will happen? Along with the blood, it is going to take the take the gametes, right? Along with the blood, it is going to take the gametes. The mosquito, see here, superficial skin, it is having the gametes, the uninfected, okay? The mosquito which is not infected, so it will come and now it will suck the blood. Now it has become infected, right? So now what will happen? These gametes will go into the stomach of the mosquito, okay? Into the stomach of the mosquito. There it is going to be fertilized. So student, here you have to remember where the fertilization is going to be happen means in the stomach of the mosquito. Okay, in the stomach of the mosquito, the fertilization is going to be happen. It is going to form the see here. The fertilization is going to be happen. It is going to form the zygote, right? It is going to form the zygote, and it is going to form one structure. We call it as the ookinetes. Okay, then it is going to form the ookinete. Then it is going to form the this type of the structure. So that is called as the sac-like structure. In the sac-like structure, there is a sporozoite is present. Okay, sporozoite is present. So this side, this ookinete side, so this ookinete is going to be converted into the. Do you understand it, student? What I am telling? Can anyone tell me? Do you understand it? Can anyone tell me whether you're understanding or not? JNV Manta, JNV Mandi. Can you tell me whether you are understanding or not? Very good, very good. Thank you so much. So now what will happen, student? So this ookinete is there, right? This ookinete is going to convert into the 1 minute. Where is this color? One minute. Okay, I will take the green color. See here. So this ookinete is going to be converted into the oocyst. Okay. It is visible, right? Green color. This is the oocyst. Okay. This ookinete is going to be converted into the oocyst. Okay. See here. This is a structure you are observing, right? This is a structure where this sporocyte is going to be released, right? So that is a oocyst. Okay. This oocyst will come inside the stomach. See here. This oocyst in the stomach of the mosquito, it is going to be burst. Okay, it is going to be released. Okay, this oocyst consisting of all the sporozoite. Okay, now when it is burst in the stomach or in the body cavity, so now all the sporocytes move towards the saliva. Okay, it is reaches the saliva. Then whenever this mosquito, it was infected mosquito now. Whenever it was bitten to the another person or the normal person, again it is going to cause the same cycle. In the blood, it is going to enter. Then in the liver cell, it is going to multiply. Then on the blood, it is going to feed on the hemoglobin. Then it is converted into some of the merozoite is converted into the gametes. Then again, in some other mosquito was bitten means through in its stomach, it is going to be fertilized. And again, it is going to continue the whole life cycle, right? So that's why we told that. So it is a digenetic. It depends on both the organism, the human and also the mosquito. Okay, student? So here you have to remember this, okay? Zygote, then after the zygote, ookinetes. After the ookinetes, it is going to form the oocyst. Okay? Fine. So I think you understood this. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in this, okay? So student, here you have to remember the 3 stages I have told you, right? One is the sporocyte, which is the infective stage means sporocyte, okay? So which is the stage which will come out from the liver cell means, so that is the merozoites, okay? So then which is the stage which feeds on the hemoglobin, that is means trophozoite. Here I have written that, right? Written that. So trophozoite, okay? So then what are the symptoms of this malaria? So malaria, we usually tell that it is a fever, right? Yes. Other than fever, what are the symptoms they are going to show? See here, high fever. Okay, they are going to show the high fever and sweating. And sweating is a main symptom. And headache and nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and chill and fatigue. Okay, so these all are the malarial symptoms. So student, if I have told you that the malignant malaria, malignant malaria is going to be caused from the Plasmodium falciparum, right? So in that case, the person is going to be affected by the anemic also. It's going to be the anemic person also. Okay, anemia is also going to be cause for the malarial disease if that person is going to be affected by the Plasmodium falciparum. Okay, fine. Let us go to the next. So that is the treatment. What are the treatment we are going to give? See here. So here in the modern malarial treatment only we can tell this. Modern malarial treatment we are going to use. So this is artesunate. See here. Artesunate and quinine and metaflicone. Okay. So these all the things we are going to use in the malaria. So these two things. So that is the artesunate and also the quinine. So we will call it as the modern malarial treatment. Okay. Modern malarial treatment. Okay, so we know that student, it was very dreadful, right? So it is then what are the things we need to be take care of there, because if we are not going to get we should not get the malaria means what are the things we have to take care of? Can anyone tell me? What are the things we have to take care of? We should clean our surrounding, right? So during the rainy season, what will happen? The water is going to be slip there only, the stagnant water, right? The stagnant water we have to clean. Otherwise, the mosquito is going to be lay the egg there and it is going to be developed, right? So because of that reason, we have to clean our surrounding, right? Yes, periodically we have to clean. Okay, fine. So then coming to the question. So what do you understand from this life cycle? Okay, which is the infective stage of Plasmodium. Okay, the infective stage of Plasmodium is. So option A is, I will run the poll. Meanwhile, you can answer me. Okay, option A is merozoid. Option B is sporozoid. Option C is spores. Option D is gamete. Okay, you can answer me, student. You can answer me in the chat box also. You can answer me in the chat box. I need answer from you, everyone. It is a very easy question. Very good, very good. So yeah, I need an answer from everyone, student. Only 33% have been answered. You may you can answer in the chat box also. Very important. Life cycle of the Plasmodium is very important. Fine, I'm going to end the poll. You can answer me in the chat box also. Okay. Yes, everyone chosen the answer option B. Okay. Yes, very good, student. Yes. So option B, I have told you sporozoids, right? Sporozoid is the infective stage of the malarial, right? Fine. So coming to the next disease, so that is the protozoan disease. So that is the amoebiosis. Okay, amoebiosis. So the amoebiosis is caused by the Entamoeba histolytica. Which is the causative agent here? Entamoeba histolytica. Okay, so it is going to be caused through the vector. Here the vector is the housefly. Okay, for example, why you have to keep the hygiene here? So whenever you are eating something, you have to wash, for example, fruit or vegetables, right? You have to wash that and you have to eat, right? So whenever the mosquito will go anywhere, right? So simply it will lie anywhere. So whenever it was come and sit on the any fruits or vegetables, without washing that, if we eat means, okay. So without washing that, if we eat means, so there also we are going to get this type of the diseases, amoebiosis. Okay, so that's why we have to maintain the hygienic condition. Before eating anything, we have to wash cleanly, right? Okay. So see here, which is the causative agent here? Entamoeba histolytica, right? Fine. So which is the vector? Housefly. Then what is the life cycle of the Entamoeba histolytica? So let us learn about that. Okay. See here. So Entamoeba histolytica, this thing I will tell you once again. See here. So now Entamoeba histolytica, for example, the person is having the this amoebiosis disease. Okay. So now what will happen? This Entamoeba histolytica is going to be released through the fecus. Okay. It is going to be released through the fecus, right? See here now. There is a cyst is present in this fecus. Okay. The cyst of the Entamoeba histolytica was passes. Okay, so how it is passes? For example, I have told you. So there is a fecus. Okay, on the fecus, this housefly was come and sit on the fecus. Okay, so now what will happen? It will take the cyst. Okay, this cyst was attached to this housefly. Then whenever this housefly was sat on the any vegetables or the fruit, okay, this light the cyst on that fruit or the vegetable. Okay, so now what will happen? We will eat the fruit without washing or anything. So now what will happen? See here. So we have eaten that vegetable without washing. Okay, so now what will happen? This cyst was passed into the mouth, right? Passed right in the mouth. See here. Now this cyst was passes unaltered through the stomach, unaltered through the stomach, unaltered through, sorry, second time I'm writing, 1 minute. Unaltered through stomach. Student, stomach is having the acidic pH, right? So in the stomach also it is not going to be break. Okay, the cyst is not at all going to be affected by the stomach acidic pH. So now what will happen? When it enters the intestine, okay, so when it enters the intestine, in the intestine, so there is a trypsin enzyme. Okay, trypsin enzyme. Where is the trypsin enzyme, student? It is in the small intestine, right? What is the function of the trypsin? It will break the protein, right? It will break protein, right? So now what happens? So this the cyst wall is going to be broke. Okay, cyst wall. Okay, cyst wall is broken. Okay, so the cyst wall is going to be broken in intestine. In intestine. Okay, so now what will happen? Cyst wall was open means, so the which are the things which is present in the cyst? Okay, so that is going to be released into this intestine, release into the intestine. 1 minute. Which is going to be released into the intestine. Okay, so now what will happen? This is going to be feed on RBC or tissue of the intestine. Tissue of intestine. Okay, so that's why, student, it is called as release the spores. Okay, it releases the spores into the intestine. So now what will happen? So it is started feeding on the red blood cell or the tissues of the intestine. Okay, so now what will happen? It is broke the tissue. So that's why it is called as the entamoeba histolytica. Okay, so here not the spore, this is the active parasite. Okay, 1 minute. So intestine, so release in the intestine, which is that active parasite. Active parasite. Okay, the active parasite was released into the intestine. So now in the intestine, what will happen? It will feeds on the RBC and goes on damaging the intestine. Okay, so that's why the person who is having the amoebiosis will release the blood into the stools. Okay, so along with the stools, the blood is going to become, right. So that is, we will call it as the amoebic dysentery, right? Amoebic dysentery, that is due to the intestinal tissue damage. So that's why we'll call it as the entamoeba histolytica. What do you mean by histolytica? Histo means tissue, lytica means damage, right? Histo means tissue, lytica means damage, right? So that's why we will call it as the tissue damage. Which tissue here going to be damaged? So that is the intestine. Which intestine? Small intestine. Intestine. Okay, fine. I think you understood this. Okay, let us go see here. Okay, let us summarize this. See here, the cyst. Okay, the cyst. What is the size of the cyst? See here, the cyst size is 10 to 12 micrometer. Okay, so see here, it was went into the stomach. Okay, whenever we take this, whenever we take the food, along with the food, the cyst is going to the mouth. Okay, see here, now in the mouth, it was swollen, right? It was swallowed, that cyst. So then it enters into the stomach. It was unaltered in the stomach. Okay, so then here they are given the intestine. Okay, in the intestine, there goes on feeding on the RBC, right? So I have told you in the malaria also. So the this parasite which is feeds on the RBC, we will call it as trophozoites, right? Trophozoid. So now it is goes on feeding on the trophozoites, right? Sorry, it is goes on feeding on the RBC, right? So now what will happen? It will colonize the mucosa and it will again form the cyst formation. So then to the fecus, it is going to be entered. See here, no intermediate host. It is a monogenetic. Monogenetic means single host, right? There is no second host, only the single host, right? So see here now, there is a person who is having the amoebic dysentery. So now along with its stool, it was passes, right? See here, cyst passes in the stool, okay? So now again, the fly is going to be bite on the stool. Then again, it is going to be sit on the any fruits or vegetables. Again, we are eating without washing or anything, means the person is going to be affected by the entamoeba stolica or amoebiosis. Fine. I think you understood this, student. Can you tell me? So this entamoeba histolytica, we will call it as a dimorphic. Okay. So there are two stages present in this dimorphic. Student, don't confuse with the monogenetic and the digenetic. Okay. Host is single only here. Okay. Host is single only. So dimorphic means two stages here. Okay. Dimorphic. In the dimorphic, you can see the two stages. One we will call it as a magna. One we will call it as a magna, and another one is the minuta. Okay, magna and the minuta. And in the malaria, we have studied about which is the infective stage, sporozoite, right? So here also infective stage is there. So that we will call it as a tetranucleate stage. Tetranucleate stage. Tetranucleate stage. Okay, it is the infective stage of the entamoeba histolytica. Okay, so this is the infective stage. Remember this. Okay, student. So then coming to the next. So what are the treatments we are going to give? So sorry, symptoms. Let us see. Okay, 1 minute. Symptoms. Which are the symptoms, student? I have told you one symptom. So that is amoebic dysentery, right? Yes. So that is the main symptoms of the entamoeba histolytica or amoebiosis. Okay. Symptoms, abdominal pain. Symptoms, abdominal pain. Abdominal pain and amoebic dysentery. Amoebic dysentery. Okay. So these all are the symptoms of the entamoeba histolytica or the amoebiosis. Okay. So then what are the treatment we are going to give for this amoebiosis? Treatment, can anyone think which are the treatment can we give for the amoebiosis? There are the tablet like metronidazole, nidazole, and second one is the tinidazole. Tinidazole. Okay. So these are the things we will use for the treatment. Okay. Metronidazole and the tinidazole. Okay. Fine. So do you have any confusions here, student? Can anyone tell me? So can anyone tell me whether you have any confusions here? I need answer from a student. JNV Mansa, JNV Shimla, welcome to the class. JNV Shimla, do you have any confusions here in the entamoeba histolytica life cycle and treatment, anything? Fine. So answer me, be interactive, then only I can understood whether you are understanding or not, right? Fine. So then coming to the helminthes disease, okay? So student, in the helminthes disease, the mainly we are going to study about the one is ascaris and another one is a filariasis, okay? In the picture you are observing, right? So that is a filariasis, okay? That is a elephantiasis. The person leg is looking like a elephant leg, right? So that's why we will call it as elephantiasis, okay? So that is nothing but the second disease I have told you, that is a filariasis, okay? Let us talk about how all the things is going to be caused, okay? See here, helminthic disease. In the helminthic disease, there are two. One is a ascariasis and another one is a filariasis. One is ascariasis and another one is a filariasis. Okay, fine. So what is this ascariasis? So student, you know some of the kids when playing in the mud or playing with the soil, what they will do? They will eat the soil unknowingly, right? So in the soil, the zygotes of this ascaris is going to be present. Okay, the zygotes of this ascaris is very small. Okay, it is going to be present, not this much big. In the picture, you are looking like a noodles, right? No, it is not going to be look like that. It's very small zygote. Okay, so the children will not know that this thing, so they will eat that. Okay, in the soil, along with the soil, if they eat by miss, means what will happen? This ascariasis is going to be caused. Okay, so let us study about what is this and how it is going to be caused. See here, ascariasis causative agent is Ascaris lumbricoides. Okay, Ascaris lumbricoides. Remember here. Okay, so then how it is going to be transferred? I have told you. So for example, if any person is having the ascariasis, okay. So if the person is having the ascariasis, means what will happen? So he will, through his feces, okay, through his feces, the zygote is going to be released. Okay, through his feces, the zygote is going to be released. Yeah, 1 minute. Fine. Yes. So what will happen? So through the fecus, it is going to be released, right? The person who is having the ascariasis. So now what will happen? That is only the zygote, which is very smaller inside. This zygote can be passed through the soil, or it can be passed through the any vegetables or any fruits, right? So it can be passed through, because whichever the soil was infected, then the vegetables is going to be infected, right? So then what will happen? Through that, if anyone feed, like in the amoebiosis I have told, right? So like that, it is going to be infected through the food and the water. Okay, it can be infected through, see here, it will be infected through food and water. Okay, student, food and water. Water is also can be contaminated by the zygotes of this. Okay, so now what will happen? See here. So it is going to be, so whenever the person was swollen that food or something, which is infected food or the infected water, the zygote is going to be enter into the mouth, right? So that's why I'm calling it as the fecal oral route, right? Fecal oral route. Why it is called as a fecal oral route? The person who is having the ascariasis was removed this zygote through his fecals, right? Then how it is going to be enter into the food and water? We are going to take that through the oral route, right? So when what will happen now? It is entered into the mouth. So then it is entered into the stomach. So then entered into the intestine. So now what will happen, student? Some of the stages, okay, for example, 1 stage, 2nd stage, 3rd stage, these all the things are there, right? So some of the stages is going to be continuing in the intestine. Then again, it is going to be reach the heart. Okay, it is going to reach the heart, and again it is going to be reach the lungs. Okay, so when it reaches the lungs, and again it is going to be, some of the stages is going to be completed in the lungs. Okay, so then again it is going to be to the trachea. In the trachea, what will happen? It will develop into the some stages, and again through the trachea, it is entering into the intestine. Okay, again through the trachea, it is entering into the intestine. So there it is going to be completely developed. Okay, completely developed. Then it was staying in the intestine. Okay, so where the ascaris is mainly going to be stay in the intestine. Okay, it is going to be stay in the, 1 minute. In the intestine. Okay, mainly where, which organ is going to be affected by the ascariasis means intestine. Okay, the organ affected by the ascariasis. Okay, organ. Okay, fine. So now what will happen? So which are the symptoms is it going to show? Okay, so see here, the abdominal pain and the cramps and the weight loss. Why the weight loss, student? See here. So now it is going to be leave in the intestine, right? So whatever the thing, for example, if I am affected, okay, affected by this ascariasis. So whichever the things I am eating, so it is absorbed by this ascariasis only. So nothing is going to be absorbed for me, right? Because of that, it is going to be cause the weight loss, okay, and anemic condition also, right? So I'm going to take the very rich food and everything. So then also I'm becoming a very thin, okay, weight loss. So what is the reason? Because all the nutrition is absorbed by this ascariasis only, right? Yes. So that is the reason. Okay. And malnutrition, right? Every nutrition was taken by the Ascaris only mean because it is living in the intestine. So nothing is I am going to get, right? So that is the reason the patient is going to get the malnutrition. And another one, vomiting. You know, students, sometimes in the vomiting, this ascariasis is also going to become, okay, in the vomiting. Okay. Sometimes from the nose also it is going to be releases. Okay. Small worm. Okay. So then coming to the monogenetic life cycle, right? Single host, it does not require the two hosts. It is require only the single host. Okay. So then these symptoms we have studied, and we have studied about the monogenetic life cycle, how it is going to be spread to the different parts and how it is going to complete the life cycle, right? Fine. So then what is the treatment for this ascariasis? What is the treatment we are going to give for this ascariasis? Can anyone tell me? Albendazole. One minute. Albendazole. Albendazole. Okay. Albendazole, and another one is the mebendazole. Mebendazole. Okay. Albendazole and the mebendazole, they will give at least yearly ones. Okay. At least yearly ones they will give for killing this into this in the intestine itself. Okay. Fine. Killing these zygotes in the intestine itself. Okay, then it will not spread, then it is going to be killed. Which is those tablet student treatment? One is the albendazole and another one is the mebendazole. Okay, fine. Do you understood this? So you are observing like this, right? So in the intestine, the doctors was removed this Ascariasis lumbricoides. See here how it is looks like. Fine. Do you understanding this? Fine. So then coming to the 1 minute. Okay. So there is another disease I have told you. So that is a filariasis, right? Filariasis. Can anyone tell me which is the causative agent of the filariasis? I have told you that we will also call it as a helminthic disease, right? Helminthic disease. Do you know Wucheria bancrofti? Can anyone tell me? Be interactive. Filariasis can be also called as the elephantiasis, student. Can you tell me? Filariasis. Okay, so listen here. Filariasis, we also call it as elephantiasis. Elephantiasis. Okay, elephantiasis. Which is the pathogen here? I have told you now only. Which is the pathogen? Pathogen is Wucheria bancrofti. Wucheria bancrofti. Okay, the another species is there, that is the Wucheria malai. Wucheria malai. Okay, so these two are the pathogens. Student, it is very, very important. Okay, see here. Whenever they are giving the question, they may ask you in one column they may give you the disease name. In the another column they may give you the causative agent. Okay, so that's the reason you have to remember both the things. It is very, very important. Okay, so pathogen, which is the pathogen for the helminthic disease or the filariasis? That is the Wucheria bancrofti, and the usually they will give the Wucheria bancrofti only. Okay, Wucheria bancrofti, and another one is the Wucheria malai. Okay, so then how it is going to be transmitted? Student, it is going to be transmitted through the mosquito. Okay, mosquito. That mosquito we will call it as female Culex mosquito. Okay, it is also vector mediated. It is going to be transmitted by female Culex mosquito. Okay, not only the female Culex mosquito, by the other mosquito you are going to get this. Okay, then filariasis is digenetic. The filariasis is digenetic. Okay, filariasis is the digenetic, means two hosts, right? So one is the humans and another one is the mosquito. Okay, student. Fine. It is going to be transmitted through the mosquito. I have told you that is the Culex mosquito, or some other types of the mosquito also you are going to get the this filariasis or the elephantiasis. So what will happen? What is the main symptom of this filariasis? Main symptom of this filariasis. See here. Main symptoms is swelling. Are you observing, right? Swelling, right? So student, here you have to remember that it is mainly going to affect the lymphatic vessel. Okay. It is mainly going to replicate in the lymphatic vessel. Lymphatic vessel. Okay. So see here in the lymphatic vessel, wherever there, below the, like you can see here, below the part, see here, wherever you are going to be affected in the legs and in the boys, the scrotum is also going to be affected. Okay. Scrotum and the upper part is also going to be affected in the male and the female both. But the mainly it is going to be affected in the lower parts and also in the scrotum of the males. Okay. Fine. Where it is going to be affected? Swelling of leg and scrotum. Okay. So this is mainly the symptoms of the helminthic disease. Okay, student? Fine. So then what is the main treatment we can give? So here also we can use the albendazole because it is also the helminthic disease, right? So we are going to use the albendazole. 1 minute. Albendazole, but along with that we are going to use the another medicine. So that is albendazole with 1 minute with dexamethasone. Okay, student. So albendazole with the dexamethasone we are going to use for the filariasis or the elephantiasis. So remember, student. So filariasis and the elephantiasis is the same thing only. It is a digenetic. It is going to be transferred by the vector. So that is a female Culex mosquito. It is going to affect only through the lymphatic vessel, where the symptoms is swelling of the leg and the scrotum. So the mainly treatment involves albendazole with the dexamethasone. Okay. So do you understood this, student? Do you have any confusions here? Can anyone tell me? Then we'll go to the fungal disease. Okay. Fungal disease we'll go to see. See here, student. So can anyone tell me which are the fungal diseases you know? Think, student, which are the fungal diseases you know? I think all of you know that athlete foot, right? Athlete foot is a fungal disease, right? So the athlete foot also looks like this only, but it is not the athlete foot. Okay. Athlete foot. And another thing is the yeast infection, right? And another one is the ringworm. Okay. Ringworm disease. Okay. So these all are the fungal disease. Let us study this. Okay. In your CBSE, they are given the ringworm disease that we are going to study. Okay. Fine. So then coming to the ringworm disease. So student, here not only the one species, there are the 3 species it is involved in the causing the ringworm disease. So ringworm, we also call it as tinea. Okay. So we'll also call it as the tinea. Okay. So then which are the causative agent here? There are the 3 causative agents. So one is the Microsporum, Trichophyton and the Epidermophyton. Okay. So then how it is going to be caused? So usually you have to remember the fungal disease is going to be caused through, so the direct contact and the use of the cloth or the towel of the patients. Okay. If the person is affected by the fungal disease or the ringworm disease. Okay. If you are using that comb of that patient, or if you are using the cloth or towel of that patient, then we are going to get the fungal disease. Okay. So that's why we have to be very careful while using the others items, like either other things like the cloth or comb, anything. Okay, fine. So then coming to the symptoms, what are the symptoms? So mainly you can see here, so dry, itchy, scaly patches. You're observing in the picture. So that is a fungal disease. That is a ringworm. The structure, it looks like the ring, right? Yes. So that is the dry, itchy, scaly patches. Okay. And another one is the bald patches in the beard. Okay. In the beard you are going to get, and in the scalp you are going to get, and in the nails also we are going to get this. Okay. So this is about the ringworm disease. Okay. So for the ringworm disease, the treatment is, these are the symptoms. When it comes to the treatment, antifungal creams or the antifungal tablet they are going to give. Okay. Treatments. So that is the antifungal. Antifungal cream. Antifungal cream they are going to give for the ringworm diseases. Okay, fine. Okay, then here is a question for you, student. So, student, can you tell me? So, we have completed the common diseases till now. Can anyone tell me, do you have any confusions here? Common disease was completed. So, we have studied about the bacterial disease. So, in that bacterial disease, we have studied about the typhoid and the pneumonia. And we have studied about the viral disease, common cold. And we have studied about the protozoan disease. So, that is amoebiasis and the malaria and helminthic disease. So one we have studied is the ascariasis and second one is elephantiasis. Elephantiasis is going to be caused by the female Culex mosquito, right? So then we have come to the fungal disease. So that is the ringworm. It is going to be caused by the Microsporum, Trichophyton and Epidermophyton. Fine. Okay. So then do you have any questions here? You can ask me. Do you have any questions here? JNV Fatehgarh Sahib, JNV Mandi, JNV Mansa, JNV Shimla. JNV Shimla, you are not going to give any, you are not at all giving any answer to me. Answer me, students. Do you have any questions, students? Interactive. Be interactive, student. Do you have any questions here? Okay. So then going to the next. Okay. So before going to the next topic, here is a question for you. Okay. The question is the largest defensive organ of the human body is largest defensive organ. Think and answer me. Okay. The question, the option is option A, liver, option B, skin, option C, spleen, and option D, intestine. Okay. So can anyone tell me which is the answer? I need answer in the chat box now. Okay. I need answer. Very good, Mansa. Yes, very good. Actually, Mansa answered. JNV Mansa. I need answer from JNV Shimla and JNV Mandi and JNV Fatehgarh. Can anyone tell me, students? Yeah. JNV Mansa answered. I need answer from others also in chat box only. Then we'll go to the next topic. So that is the immune system. Okay. Yeah. Answer me. Fine. So very good, Jamie Mansa. Mansa was answered. So that is the skin, right? Yes, student, skin. Skin is the largest defensive organ. Okay. Yes, not the liver, not the spleen, and not the intestine also. Okay. Fine. So then coming to the what are the topics we are going to cover in the immunity. So those are, so the immunity, types of immunity, innate immunity, and the acquired immunity. Okay. So these all the things we are going to study. And other than this, we are going to study the passive immunity and active immunity. Passive and active immunity. Active immunity. Okay. So, and the next thing we are going to study about the allergic reaction. Allergy. And again, we are going to study about the autoimmune system. Autoimmune system. Right? So yeah, then we are going to study about the vaccine, right? Yes. So these all the things we are going to study in the immunity. Okay, fine. So then what is the immunity actually, student? Can anyone tell me what is the immunity? For example, so for the protection of our country, we have our soldiers, right? Yes, we have our soldiers for the protection of our country. So for us also, for the protection of our body, we have soldiers inside our body. Okay, that soldier system, that we will call it as the immunity. Okay, see here. So some pathogens will enter into our body, right? So these immune cells will fight against this pathogen and it will kill that bacteria or any pathogens. Okay, so then what is the immunity? The ability of the body to fight against the pathogen. Any pathogen, it may be a virus, bacteria, helminthic disease, anything. Okay, so then it was produced by the immune system. Okay. So then, so this is about the immune system. Okay. So it is the ability of the body to fight against the pathogen. Okay. Fine. So here we are going to mainly study about three phases. One is the recognition. Second one is the activation. And another one is the effector phase. So see here, whenever some pathogen entered into our body, right? So immune cell, what it will do? First, it will recognize which type of the pathogen it is. It will recognize the pathogen. So next thing is activation. It will activate the other soldiers also. Okay. It will activate other soldiers also. And the third point is effector phase. What it will do in the effector phase? It will kill the microorganism or it will kill the pathogens, right? So that is the effector phase. One is the recognition. Second one is the activation. Third one is the effector phase. Okay. Fine. So, student, there are two types of the immunity, okay? So, by birth only we'll get the immunity, right? So, by birth only we'll get our skin, right? Largest immune organ, skin we will get, and we'll get the acidic pH of the stomach, right? By birth only, this all the things will come. Saliva and the ear wax, right? So, these all the things will come by birth only, right? So, those things we'll call it the innate immunity. By birth only we are getting this immunity, right? So, fine. So these are non-specific, okay? For fungal also it is going to be act similarly only. For bacteria also same type. And for the virus also same type, right? For skin is a barrier, right? It is acting as the same thing for every type of the pathogen. But, so that's why we will call it as a non-specific. So it is by birth. Okay, by birth it is a non-specific. The acidic pH of the stomach, this all the things are the non-specific, okay? So then, coming to the acquired immunity. Acquired immunity means, so during our lifetime, okay, during our lifetime, we are going to get the immunity. That we will call it as acquired immunity, okay? So this was acquired during the lifetime, okay? Fine. So in this, you will get the cell-mediated immunity and the humoral immunity. Antibody is going to be produced, right? So these all the things we are going to study in the next week, in the next class, okay? Fine. So do you have any questions? Kindly tell me. Otherwise, I will go for the NPS poll. You can give me a feedback. You can give me a feedback. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay. So there is a question. Okay. So see, student. So which one of the following is false about the innate immunity? Can anyone tell me? So in the chat box, you can answer me. Okay. So meanwhile, give me feedback in the NPS poll also. Okay. Yeah. Tell me which one is the false for the innate immunity. So in the option here, they are telling that inborn immunity, it was by birth only. Okay. Second one, it was very specific. Okay. Then third one is first line of the defense. Okay. It is the first line of defense. Third one is none of this. Okay. Can anyone tell me which one is the correct answer? You can answer me. JNV Mansa, try this question. Can anyone answer me? JNV Mandi, JNV Fatir. Can you answer me? Fine. So no problem. The correct answer is very good. So JNV Mansa, what? 1 minute. No. Think once again. Think once again. I will tell you. Okay. Once again, I will tell you. See here, I have told you that it is from the by birth only it is there, right? So that's why we are calling as it is a by birth, inborn, right, student? Inborn. It is an inborn immunity. By birth only we are getting this, right? Then second one, it is a specific immunity. So yes, sorry. Yes, JNV Mansa, you are given option B, right? Yeah, which is a false. Yes. So it is the not specific. It is a not specific, right? So that's why option B is correct. Correct, Jamie Mansa. Okay. So it is non-specific. It is a non-specific, right? Which is the innate immunity. Only the acquired immunity is the specific, right? Yes. Yes. So then coming to the first line of defense, yes. Our skin, this all the thing is acting as the barrier. So that's why it is the first line of defense, right? Yes. So the correct answer is option B. They are given here false, right? So that's why the option B is correct answer. Yes. Thank you so much, student. So read read this chapter, Human Health and Disease. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. All the best for your studies. Thank you so much, student. Take care.